Hey everyone, how are we going today? Today we're going to go over the new Trunks leader, the Trunks Youth leader from set 14, I think it is, Cross Spirits. Let's just get right into it. Let's just go for it. So first of all, we got the unawakened side of the leader. When you place this card in your leader area, you can activate one foreboding music box from your deck. We'll go over that one just in a sec. The next is when this card attacks, you draw one, and then it's going to awaken at 4 or less. You can untap one, draw one. Then the awakened side, when this attacks, you draw a card. Then if it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue unisons with a specified cost of 3 is removed from your unison area, you may add one Tapion sword from your drop to your hand. If you do, choose one card in your hand, discard it. Once again, we're going to go over Tapion sword in a sec, but it's nice that because Spirit Boost is such a big thing in this set that we're getting a benefit if we Spirit Boost the unison to death, right? So it's not bad. But it does have to be an opponent's turn. So like you get it low with Spirit Boost and then they attack into it, you kind of get something nice with that. Then the activate main, once per turn, Spirit Boost. This card gets 5k for the turn, and if you have a blue unison with a specified cost of 3 in play, this card gains double strike. That's quite nice. And then next we have the unison that it's talking about. So this unison has an auto once per turn. If it's your turn, when you remove a marker using Spirit Boost skill, choose one of your opponent's battle card with energy greater than with the energy cost greater than or equal to the energy and return it to its owner's hand. This is amazing, right? Blue has always had such a problem with just removal, and this deck has a lot of just good generic removal. That it's not barrier removal, but it's just good removal. Actually, it kind of also has some decent barrier removal. So having this deck is like decent, good blue removal. It's just lovely to have. Anyway, the activate main is a +2 when you switch this card to rest mode. You may switch this card to rest mode. If you do, draw a card. It's just nice having this. It means you can't attack with it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a balanced version of the baby from set 12. Yep, set 12. Set 11, Vermilion Bloodline. That's set 11. Yep, 7-11 from Vermilion Bloodline. Because it's still a +2 and it's a 19k, which means it's harder to remove the markers. And +2 is amazing. I think most unisons in this set have to be +2 because of Spirit Boost. But yeah, just having this unison as a +2 is great. And then if you don't want to attack with it a turn, you can draw a card, which is just really nice. Nice and balanced. And then the +0 is you may choose one of your modern blue leaders, and it gets 10k power for the turn. That's really good if you're trying to finish off the game with a leader swing, because you can activate main, give your leader 5k and double strike. This becomes 30k double strike, and as you're about to see Tapion sword, Tapion sword, if you have a blue unison with a specified cost of 3, you can activate this card's activate battle skill without paying its energy cost. Now the activate battle has a limit to 1, so you can only activate this skill once per turn. Spirit Boost 1, if your leader is a mono blue Trunks youth, draw 1, then choose one of your leaders or unisons to get 10k power for the battle. So this is like a super combo. This is really good. It's a once per turn super combo if you have a unison with a specified cost of 3 in play, which is really, really good. Just it means you're essentially running 8 super combos in your deck. You can only use it on leader or unisons, but it's like a defensive one, it's an offensive one when you give your leader double strike. You do have to Spirit Boost for it, but that's fine because you can Spirit Boost for it, get rid of your unison, and then give your leader 10k. It's just nice. And then, yeah, so you can Spirit Boost, give your leader 10k, and then, because this goes right to the drop when you do it, then the Order of Trunks triggers, and then you can just put this right back in your hand for next turn. Which is quite nice, and it also can just be a charge target for next turn. It means you lose your unison. This is if you Spirit Boost when it's got 1 marker on, but you lose your unison, which is it's okay. It's a bit of a shame. But then you also draw a card off this, and then you get this back. So it's essentially you gain an extra card in hand, and you get 10k power for the battle. It's quite nice. But anyway, now I've got the foreboding music box, which we were talking about earlier. So your unawakened side plays this at the start of the game. So it's a field card, and it's got 2 activate mains. The first of which was the once per turn. You're going to add a card from your life to your hand. If you do, you look at the top 3 cards and add up to 1 blue unison with a specified cost of 3 or less among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. If you added a card, choose 1 card in your hand and place it on the deck. So you only go plus in terms of taking the life. However, this also searches for your blue unison, and this deck has a fair bit of synergy with that unison, so it's great to get it out early. Next, we have the activate main. So if if your opponent has 2 or more energy, so either on your turn 2 if they went first, or your turn 3 if they went first, you can pay 2, place this card in the drop. If you do, you choose up to 1 Tapion's Hero Revived, which is the Unison, and in your hand, and then you play it with 2 markers in rest mode. Which means that first turn, if you do the +2, you don't get a draw card, but you can still get a Unison to 4 markers on turn 2, which is quite hard to remove. So that's great card there. Now we've got like our battle card combo that came out with this deck. We can get a lot of swings off with battle cards for a very small amount of cards in our hand. So to start off with, we have, I'm just going to move my head into here for now. That should work. We'll go here. So these 2 cards essentially play the exact same way. So they first of all have an activate main. If your leader is a blue Trunks Juice card and you have a blue Unison with specified cost of 3 in play, you play this card from your hand. This is just, so you just play it from your hand, nothing special. They both have the same auto, and then they both have the same activate main, which is Spirit Boost 1 for 1 energy. If your leader is a blue Trunks Youth, you play the other one with its skills negated for the turn from the deck, which is quite nice. And then you place this one at the bottom deck. So you're essentially just like going through attack, attack. So attack, bottom deck, get another one out, attack, bottom deck. But you can only go from one to the other because when you play the other one with the activate main, the skills are negated. However, we then get this Trunks Calamity Challenger. So activate main, you choose one of your blue non-unique Saiyans or Earthling cards with an energy cost of 3 or less. So this Trunks chooses either of these 2, and you put it at the bottom of your deck. Then you play this card from your hand, add up to 1 mono blue card with Tapion in its name from your deck to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Now this has an on-play order. When this card is played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to its owner's hand. So another really good, just generic removal. So yeah, if you've got 3 energy opens, you can go through the whole chain, play all 3 of these. Or if you're untapping energy with your Awaken or with anything else like that, you can play more. But then the combo keeps going because we got to search for a Tapion. So we can either search for the Unison or we can search for Tapion Calamity Challenger. Now, Tapion Calamity Challenger, you've got 2 ways to get it out. You can either X-Evolve on top of a blue Tapion with an energy cost of 2 or less. We don't play any of these, so we're not going with that route. The other one is the Activate Main with a Limit 1 and a Spirit Boost 1. You play 1 blue, if you have a blue Unison with 15k power or more, which means, yeah, so our Tapion Unison works perfectly fine with this. And you have 3 or more energy. You play this card for your hand for 1, and then when it's played, you draw a card, so it's a 20k double striker. It's quite similar to the King Piccolo. I can't remember what it's called. The red King Piccolo that you use in the King Piccolo deck. Essentially the overall one, King Piccolo New Ruler, I think it's called. Yeah, King Piccolo New Ruler. It's very similar to that one. However, you do have to pay for it, but you get a draw card. There's ups and downs. New Ruler is probably a bit better, but this is still a really good inclusion in blue. Just great to have. Now, the other battle cards we get in the deck is we get Son Goku Calamity Challenger. Now, this card's really cool. So he's got Deflect and Blocker. Then I activate main. If your leader is a blue Saiyan card and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand and draw a card. So we don't lose cards in hand, which is really nice. And we get a blocker on the field for 15k. Now, but the second activate main is also quite good, and it's unique to the Trunks Youth deck. So if your leader is a blue Trunks Youth, play up to 1 mono blue Son Goku with the energy cost of 6 from your deck or drop area on top of this card. Negate that card's keyword skills for the game, then shuffle your deck. Now, let's show you what we can play off this. So I've got 2 cards here, one of which is coming out in this set, which is the SS3 Son Goku Calamity Conqueror. So it's got Deflect, and it's got an auto limit 1. Now, even though limit is red, the skill is to an auto limit, just says you can only use it once. So I believe it's how it works is you can still only do it once per turn, but I'm not 100% sure. If you do get to negate the limit part of the skill, this could be the one to play in the deck. However, I'm just going to, the way I've interpreted it is the limit doesn't go away. It's still can only activate the auto once. But anyway, auto limit 1, for 1 blue, if your leader is blue, when this card attacks, it gains 5k power for the turn, and if you have a blue unison with a specified cost of 3 in play, switch it to active mode and it gains double strike for the turn. So if you played it with Calamity Slasher, it will get the 5k and it will switch to active, so it's essentially become a 30k dual attack, which isn't bad, but it doesn't get the double strike, which is its big payoff, unfortunately, but that's all good. It also has an activate main, Spirit Boost 1 for 4, you play it from your hand, which gets you the full power of it. However, I think the one that will be played with this Son Goku Calamity Slasher is Dragon Fist SS3 Son Goku. Now, it has Barrier and Double Strike, both of which will go away when you play it through the activate main, but that's okay. So in total, so let's just go over it. So when this card attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, and return it to the hand. So it does go back to the hand, which isn't the best removal, but it still means they have to replay it at the turn after, and Barrier removal is amazing for blue, and we're only paying 3 to get it out. However, the rest of the order reads, then choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them to active mode, which means essentially this card fuels the deck so much. It essentially means like we have a Soul Striker-esque effect in a non-Soul Striker leader by attacking with this Dragon Fist Son Goku. And as you saw, a lot of the cards, you could go pretty crazy with the combo I showed before. We can get 4 battle card swings for only 2 cards in hand, which is pretty nasty. Being able to, is it only 2 cards in hand? So you've got 1, that plays that for 1 card in hand. You only lose 1 card in hand. You have to have 2 different cards in hand, but you only lose 1 card in hand. And for 4 energies, you can get 4 20k swings in, one of which removes one of their battle cards, and another one which is double strike, which is really nice. It does require 3 spirit boosts in total, but that's fine. But being able to get this Dragon Fist Son Goku out means you can untap 2 energy, which means the entire combo just costs you 2 energy, plus you just got another 25k beater. That removes the barrier card. This is really good in the deck. If this deck is played, I feel like you'll definitely include this combo, and I will show you guys the deck list once I get through all the cards that we were given. Anyway, let's talk about the searches that were deck given. Bandai is very consistent at giving us searches now for decks. So yeah, let's just go over the searches in this deck. So first of all, it has just a simple, when this card's played, you draw a card, which is nice. It has an activate main, limit 1 for 1 blue. It's great, it's not Spirit Boost. I really like the fact it's not Spirit Boost. You look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you play up to 1 mono blue Son Goku Adolescence or Videl, and with an energy cost of 3 and 20k power, then shuffle your deck if you played a card. If you played a card, you have to place the card at the bottom of your deck, which is quite unfortunate. However, it means in total you don't lose cards in hand to play this. It does cost an extra energy, but you essentially you're just paying 1 extra energy to draw a card. I don't know 100% know how this fits in to the deck. It's something you'll have to test whether it's worth including the deck. But for now, when we see the deck list, I do have a couple in here. But yeah, we'll have to see how it fits in. Next one we've got is Great Saiyaman Call of Hero. This is your generic searcher that every deck is getting. So when this card is played, you look at the top 5 for a blue Saiyan or blue Earthling with energy cost of 3 or less, or a blue Unison with specified cost of 3 among them, and add them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So every single deck for a while has essentially been getting one of these searches, which is you search for your low cost combo pieces or your Unison. It's just good to have these. I don't know how well this will be played. It is important to note that if you do play this one, it's really good because it searches your super combos that we'll talk about later, which is lovely. So I think you do play searches in this kind of deck because you don't really have a turn 1, turn 2 play. So playing searches are great. Which searcher you play, we'll have to see in the end. Now let's just get right into the deck list that I've got built. Note this is an initial deck list. I haven't done any testing with this. This is just my theory crafting of the deck, and this is before the ban list comes out. So if you're watching this after the ban list comes out, unfortunately some of these cards may be banned. I honestly don't know. We'll have to see what happens then. But let's just get right into it. So we've seen the leader, so let's just get into all the other stuff. So we have Forte on Sword. This is essentially another super combo. It's kind of like running a Power of the Super Saiyans in yellow. I think it's a really good card. This may just be cut down to 3 because it may clunk. However, it's just a really good card, and to start off with, it has to be a 4-off. Next, we have the Foreboding Music Box. This is a free play card. There is no point not to play a 1-off in this deck because it It doesn't make your deck more consistent, doesn't make your deck less consistent. There is zero reason not to include this in your deck, so we just keep it as a 1, and you never want to pay for it. So it's just a perfect 1-of in the deck. Now we've got the Unison side of things. So we have 4 Tapions, the Hero Revived. Now, Tapion's just an insanely good card. This is the Unison for the deck, and it's a +2. You could consider running a couple Baby Parasites in here, just because it's another +2 3-drop Unison, because a lot of this synergizes with having a 3-drop Unison. However, I don't know if there's space, I don't know how much you need the Unison, because the leader, or the music box does search for your Unison in a pickle. But anyway, we've got 3 Heroic Prospect. Heroic Prospect's just a really good card. It's a good blue negate. I think 3-of's fine. You may be able to even cut it down to 2-of. It's just that nice floodgate style of negate. Now this is, I believe, a 50 card list, which means there is a lot of wiggle room to add 1 or 2 extra cards that you want to add in. If you want to cut a Heroic Prospect, you can cut a Heroic Prospect. I initially had 2, realized it was 49 cards, so I put the 3rd one in. Next we have 4 God Sealing Technique. This is, I don't know how these free play counterplays are going to work in a Spirit Boost meta, where you're constantly removing your own markers from your Unison. However, I still think God Sealing Technique is too good of a card not to run in the deck. So I think we're gonna keep it in there because it's the best counterplay in the game. So keep it in there as a 4-of. Next we have our little combo with our Great Saiyaman, our Sun Goten, and our Great Saiyaman 2. I've got each of these at a 3, because you just need to see one of the 2 of the combo of Justice Great Saiyamans. Doesn't matter which one you see because it searches for the other one. And for now, we've got the Sun Goten Calamity Smasher. I don't know if I want to run this one in the end or the other Searcher. They're both pretty good. As I said, I do think you want a Searcher in the deck because you just don't have a turn 1, turn 2 play. You may end up running both. I honestly don't know, but for now, these are the ratios we're going with. Next, we have our Trunks Calamity Challenger. That's a 4-of. It is an extremely good card in the deck. It costs 1 if you just to remove a Sane or Earthling with energy cost 3 or less. Note this means you can put your you can put your Heroic Prospects at the bottom of your deck again to grab them later, which is nice. Means you can recycle things. Also, quick thing to note: this Trunks here is not locked to this leader, and is going to be great in other decks such as like Janemba Soul Striker. If you just run Sane, skillless cards, or just any other blue deck that just gets a couple of cheap Saiyans out there. And next we've got the Tapion Calamity Challenger. You search for this card when you play Trunks Calamity Challenger, and I don't think it's as good as Trunks Calamity Clasher, so I just ran it at a 3-of. It's just a really good card to have. It's kind of like an Overwhelm in the deck. I know this deck currently doesn't have an Overwhelm. This is kind of like the Overwhelm for the deck, but not really because it's not for free and doesn't go to the warp, but it's still just a really, really good card to include. Next, we have our kind of boss monsters in the deck. So we've got 3 Son Goku Calamity Challenger to go into 2 Dragon Fist SS3 Son Goku. This Son Goku, you just have to include in the deck for now. While we're testing, it's just such a good card. And then, of course, we've got the one Baby Hatch Saiyan Destroyer, only blue sticker array you ever run. Being able to just skip your opponent's turn, essentially, like they can still remove stuff, but they can't attack. So you know if you have this card in your hand, you can just essentially say, I know I'm not going to lose this turn. Just something to quickly note with Baby Hatch, if you're playing against a deck that you know doesn't have any burn cards, that can just burn you a damage, like on play or something like that. So if you're on 1 life, you know if they can't attack for a turn, you're good. If you're planning to win the following turn, there's 0 reason to Baby Hatch on the first swing. You want to Baby Hatch once you're on 1 life, or once they swing with the double strike in 2 life, or a triple strike when you're on 3 life. Or if you just have another negate, you can use that earlier, and then Baby Hatch when you're on 1 life. Baby Hatch, you want your opponent to use resources before you Baby Hatch, because all that means is they've got less to defend. Or what one of my friends does is he'll use a lot of his resources defending, and he won't Baby Hatch, and then I'm out of resource. Like, I've tried to push through, and I know he has Baby Hatch, especially like in Blue Baby, you know when they've got Baby Hatch because they search it, and you're like, I can't do much more this turn, and I can't do anything next turn because I'm just going to Baby Hatch next turn. So I have to survive 2 turns. So shotgunning Baby Hatch is not the way to play it. It's such a good card, and once you learn to play it properly, it gains you so much more value than you ever thought possible. It's really, really good. And next we've got our 4 Dimension Magic, 4 Senzu Bean, and 4 Vegeta Discipline Warrior. Dimension Magic just has to be a 4 of in blue decks because it just untaps you 2 energy, and it's just really good. No, if you Dimension Magic, you essentially get 1 more energy than you had before, or if you're sparking it, you get 2 more energy than you had before. So if you Dimension Magic, it means you have that extra energy to use Tapion Sword if you don't have a Unison in play to make it free, which is really nice. It's definitely a nice thing to have. Then you got your 4 Senzu Beans and your 4 Vegeta Discipline Warriors. We go wide with a lot of 1 energy cost cards, so having Senzu Bean to untap energy, basically every Senzu Bean we have lets us play 1 extra battle card, which means Senzu Bean gives it 5k, which essentially counts for 1 card in your opponent's hand. It also lets us play an extra battle card, which is a 20k, which essentially gets rid of 2 cards in your opponent's hand. So 1 Senzu Bean can count for 3 cards in your opponent's hand, which is essentially what we're trying to go for in this, with running Senzu Beans here. And then Vegeta Discipline Warrior, it's the best blue super combo. We're not running any cards that aren't blue, besides maybe an Overwhelm or maybe a Champa. It is just the best super combo for any monocolored deck. And if we do run the Great Saiyan Man Searcher, you can search for your super combos, which is a very, very underrated thing to do. Is why King Piccolo is really good, because you can search for your super combos. Sorry about that, bit of computer difficulties. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it for the Trunks Youth deck profile. This is a 50 card list, so you've got wiggle room with like an Overwhelm in there, or changing your searches around so you got more turn 1 plays. Because right now, if we go back and look through the deck, the only real turn 1 play we have is our Sun Goten Calamity Challenger. So increasing that to a 4 of, or having the other searches so you have like 5-6 turn 1 plays is honestly a really good idea, because you don't really lose anything for it. And so if you want to cut, a lot of people like playing 50 card lists, you can cut Heroic Prospect, as I don't think it's super needed. However, I could very well be wrong. You could probably cut Tapion Sword, because you probably don't need 4 in here. You kind of just need to see that first one, and you can semi-recur when your Unisons dies. Don't know what numbers of these you need. You may be able to go like 3, 2 on one of them. You could potentially cut both of these back to it's a 3-3 line. I would keep all that the same. And worst comes to worst, you can always cut a singular Senzu Bean. So anyway, guys, that's the list. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you want to see from me, as I really do try and just make the best content I can so you guys can enjoy. If you guys have any suggestions or ways I can improve my content, feel free to leave them down below as well, because I am always just trying to improve. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one.